Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Funnel Trade. It's the 7th of the month, so we're going to take our slow walk through the market, just see how everything is doing after Black Friday and see what's changed since then. So TCG Player did something on the back end that made this search result for set boxes much worse in the last couple of weeks. There are only a few things I'm really looking out for on set boxes right now. It's going to be Zendikar Rising and Modern Horizons 2. Everything else could be kind of interesting. I'm just waiting to see those two start moving, obviously for different reasons. Zendikar Rising because, man, that's a 2020 era product, and it still hasn't gone anywhere despite being a good box. And then Modern Horizons 2 because it's just going to be a testament to how much those enemy fetch lands are drying up when we finally see the box prices start to move. There are some interesting things out here like Wilds of Eldraine, $123 market price. I mean, this is still in print. It's still standard legal, and it's a higher price than Streets of New Capenna. Cool to see Strixhaven finally moving up a tiny bit. Innistrad, Midnight Hunt, still doing pretty bad. $97 even after Black Friday. Kamigawa is out of print and $120. So let's see. Zendikar Rising. You know, it got a big volume spike on Black Friday for that weekend. 91 boxes sold. That's really good compared to, let's see. So if we take those 91 out of this 3-month snapshot, it was previously selling, about 57 boxes over the 3 months excluding Black Friday. So yeah, it maybe sold 6 months worth of boxes over one weekend. It's not bad, but man, there's still just so many boxes out here before the price starts moving. And the non-Black Friday sale through rate is just so low on this product. Okay, Modern Horizons 2, yep, 19 boxes. And then, so we're on the 3-month, 19 and 12. Man, not very good. 35 boxes total maybe over the extended weekend. That's very poor. And there's still, again, just a lot of boxes. I mean, we can see the price moves up to $230 out here, $240. It's going to take a while to get there. You know, by next summer, maybe we'll see $250 by next summer. We shall see. I'm not even terribly optimistic about that. Let's see if we can pick up AFR on the second page. Brothers War 127, not bad. Phyrexia 125. Here we go, AFR 114. Not too bad. I'm going to click through to that one and just see how it sold on Black Friday. Lost Caverns of Ixalan 122. So, you know, the print runs and the distribution are doing a lot better on these newer sets, these 2023 standard set boxes, that they're able to keep these prices up in the 120s, closer to where card stores can make money off of them. And AFR, this was a late 2021 product. It came out right after Modern Horizons 2 in 2021. Well, okay, 125 for this box here. And how we do on Black Friday? Not very good. 30, 35 boxes. Yeah, not great. And boy, there's just so many boxes out here. I mean, where did we finally see 150? All the way here? Nope. A couple boxes before that. There we go. All the way down there. That's about 20 boxes from the end. And how many are in the market today? 86. So you got to pound through 66 boxes to see 150 bucks a box. So yeah, it's still going to be a while. Some of those truly printed to oblivion boxes from way back there. Okay, now these are going to be draft boxes from the set box era, because before the set box era, these were not called draft boxes. They were just called booster boxes. So these are going to line up with the expansions we saw on the previous page. 258 for Double Masters 2022. Kamigawa, again, out of print, 111. Lord of the Rings draft, 171. Not bad. Commander Masters, 290. Okay. Still have some of these overprinted and unloved sets. Midnight Hunt, $80 market price. And that doesn't even account for taking 15% off during the Black Friday bonus box. So that would have been, what, another $12 off. You could have gotten this for $68 net on Black Friday, shipped to you. Infinity, 94. Baldur's Gate, 101. You know, this one's going to move nicely in the coming years. There's just too many good cards in it. 97 for Strixhaven. And of course, Crimson Val, 75. Still way too many boxes of it out there. And it's too weak of a set. Let's jump into Double Masters 2022. How did this do? 142. Yeah. So Black Friday was the 29th. So this says November 30th through December 2nd. Yeah. So if we take those 40 and those 142, so about 180 boxes over the sale. Not bad. There's only 198 left in the market right now. Okay. And not far to start seeing some more movement on the price. Here's 280 right here. That's what, 10 boxes from now? You'll hit 280. Not bad. So that one's doing good. Nice to see. Nice to see that it's finally recovering. You know, when this came out in the summer of 2022, the collector boxes and the draft boxes of this product both just crashed hard right out of the gate. And man, $280 was the release week market price for the collector boxes. We'll get around to those eventually and see what they've finally recovered to. $100 for AFR draft. We're going to pick up Time Spiraled and double feature on the second page here. Here's Time Spiral. 218. Okay, that's good. You know, that's had so many false starts. I would have expected it to be doing so much better than that. DMR, 126. Hasn't moved much in a long time. Commander Legends, 150. Poor Zendikar Rising with the Expedition box topper, $91. And double feature, 165. Wow. Okay. That's another one where, you know, I just kind of expected it would move more. I wonder if it's going to take any hit from Innistrad Remastered. You know, you have to expect that probably Meat Hook Massacre is going to get reprinted at the very least. What was the version of Chandra? Chandra, like Flames Fire or something like that was in this set. Was a pretty good card. You know, pretty good being like $10 for this set. Play booster boxes. And, you know, the market has come a long way with these. On the road to accepting the prices, these need to be about $140. That's the reality of where these need to be selling for the market to work, for card stores to stay in business, for everything to function, just because of what WotC sells them to distribution for and what distribution has to sell them to card stores for. If you want card stores to continue to exist, these have to be about $140 for a standard expansion play booster box. So, you know, seeing Bloomborough 138, Outlaws 133 is not bad. Duskmorn 133, that's good. Foundations 136, okay. So all of those are looking pretty good. We have Murders down here still at 107, just sadly just a whiff of a set. I guess it just happens once in a while. Now, Modern Horizons 3, I was expecting these to come up a lot more, and I'm surprised these aren't up in the 240s. I can't remember the exact wholesale price off the top of my head right now, but these needed to be selling somewhere around, golly, 240 or 250 for most stores to be breaking even on it. You know, the wholesale price, I want to say, was like 215 or 220, somewhere around there. So, I mean, they're still just suffering as a product. Innistrad Remastered. I'm trying to remember, I was just having a conversation with a good friend of mine who buys Magic from me, and the wholesale price of these, I want to say, is 160. Don't wager any money on that guess, but something like that. So, you know, these are kind of starting to approach a good pre-sale price if you want to pre-purchase the play boxes. As we go down here, yeah, there's really nothing much left. We don't have many play boxes yet. So they're doing okay. The market is adjusting to these higher prices. That's the reality. You're getting the same amount of cardboard that you were 5 years ago, and now it's 50% more expensive. And the only consolation is, well, there's more rares and mythics. They've adjusted the commons to be more powerful. You have the special guest slot. You still have some kind of remnant of the list slot. And of course, now moving over to my favorite collector booster boxes, let's open a bunch of these and we'll look around in them and just see how they've done. Kaldheim almost up to that $200 mark, 196 on the market price. And the same Unfinity, 191. Even DU collectors, wow, 188. Eventually, it's going to get back to wholesale. We'll take a look at Ravnica Remastered. Of course, Dominaria Remastered, one of my favorites. And there will come a day here, probably in the next 6 months, when it'll be prudent to go and buy a bunch of Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow collector boxes. I know it doesn't feel like it now, but there will come a time when that will be the smart move. We'll take a look at Foundations. Kamigawa 253. That's had a little more turbulence recently, and it's kind of settled well. It had bounced back up and down several more times over the last year. We'll take a look at Double Masters 22. Murder's still at 184. Well, it's a lot better than the 135 that it had crashed down to originally. Strixhaven, $300. Man, that feels good. I bought so many of those boxes cheap from Amazon dumps. Wow. New Capenna, 144. I would lump that in with Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow in terms of just eventually having it stay. Maybe in 2025, it'll be time. Maybe. $393 for Modern Horizons 3. Wow. So I got a case of those at about $360 when they came out, and I felt like that was really on the line of, well, maybe I paid too much, but I'm feeling okay about it now. Theros Beyond Death, yeah. There's 2 cards in there. There's the spear, I forget the name of it, and it's not Hull Breach, it's some kind of breach. Yeah, very few good cards in that. Outlaws, $199, good to see that recovering. And of course, Wilds of Eldraine, $342. You would have been so surprised if when Wilds came out, what was it, August, September of last year, if when it came out, someone had told you, yeah, it'll be $340 a year from now. No one would have believed it. And Duskmourn, let's take a look at that. Open that one up in the background. Core set 21, $226. Just, not a lot of pressure to bring that price up. Page 3, we should get into Lord of the Rings here. Phyrexia, this one was interesting. It's had a bit of a roller coaster ride recently. It was up into the 350s, and now it's come back down. I guess a lot of people just want to fight to undercut each other 1 penny at a time. Lost Caverns, $340. It's feeling good. AFR, $154. Lump those in with Streets, Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow. You should really consider taking some positions in some of these overprinted, unloved 2021 and 2022 era collector boxes, especially these standard ones, because there will come a time when they all of a sudden tighten up and spike up in price. Baldur's Gate, $202. I wish I could get another good deal on these and open a bunch more. I opened well over 100 of these collector boxes of Baldur's Gate for singles to sell. They were so profitable. Throne of Eldraine, the original collector box, $229. Okay, so page 4, we're going to pick up our Lord of the Rings boxes. Here we go, original and special edition. And let's start pushing through all of these that we open now. Wow, $161 with that shipping. Man, I thought this had really stalled out at $250, and so it kind of did for a while. It tracked sideways for a bit. And now Black Friday has pushed it up over. So 140 boxes on Black Friday. There's 172 left in the market. Very nice. And pretty soon we get up here to 169. And 169 in a bit. And 170. So yeah. But there's a 41 box block. Okay. It's going to take a while. A few months. Maybe by Valentine's. We'll see this at 270, 280 kind of range. What's next? Ravnica Remastered. Boy, we had such low hopes for this when it came out. And man, when I looked at the initial sales data of this for the first 60 days post-release, it was just selling horribly. And we all thought, man, there must be a mountain of this sitting at Watsy's warehouse in Austin, sitting at distribution, sitting at card stores. And it's just turned out not to be the case. $351. Didn't move a lot over the Black Friday weekend, maybe 55 boxes. And we've got 370 right out here after about 15 more boxes. You know, these snapshots get really distorted now that we've had Black Friday, so we'll kind of need to wait till the beginning of January where our 1 month snapshot will have washed out all those Black Friday sales, and so that our sell-through rate data will be really high quality and accurate again. It will be recent and it won't have the big outlier of Black Friday in it. So it's going to be a little while before we can just kind of, you know, click the 1 month here and then look at the total sold over the last 1 month and get a average daily sold count that is useful. But yeah, this is, you know, obviously it's going to $400 here. It's just going to take 2, 3, maybe 4 months. It'll take a little while to get there, but you know, the reality is these are scarce collectibles and their population only goes down over time. $250, and this was the biggest surprise for me out of Black Friday. Of course, you know I love this box. I have an extra one behind me right there. I have a bunch that I bought this past year. I bought some more on this Black Friday at what, 175, something like that, 170 after all the discounts and rebates and cashbacks and everything else. So to have seen this pop up 25% to $250 almost overnight is amazing. So yeah, your average sale price here at the beginning of the Black Friday event on the, let's see, 28th was the day before Black Friday, so this is a little wonky. Okay, 41 and 20 more, so about 60 boxes, and then they've suddenly popped up. And if we go and we actually look at the sales, you can see they were still 205 headline, which was the headline price I paid on Black Friday. And then you can see all of a sudden it blows through 225 and up to 245 just a couple of transactions later. We'll probably meet some pretty good resistance here, because what tends to happen is when you have an asset that jumps up in price this hard, this fast, a lot of people suddenly realize, hey, I'd be happy with that price. And so they come out and they start undercutting each other a penny at a time. And so it's going to really put the brakes on the market of this for a while. But I don't plan to sell any of this for quite a while. So I'm fine to be patient and wait. Maybe at $300 a box, I'll start offering some. Maybe. Foundations. What a surprise this has been. $325. So it's come down in price a bit. What do we show? We still show $342 as the market price after Black Friday, but it's been coming down faster. So, you know, oh, okay, I see. This is just one seller with 2 feedback. Okay, so it's a brand new store that's just trying to shove its way into the market and has to undercut to do that. So the real price is $340. Okay, $340 is still fine. It was $350 right after Black Friday for the individual boxes, maybe not the market price. And, you know, personally, I'll be a little surprised if we ever see $300 a box on this again. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's pretty unlikely at this point. There are those anime girl Japanese cards in here. You know, the Land of War elf version in the special foiling is selling for something like $600. So, you know, there are a lot of good chase cards in here to hold up the box value. And I don't know, I suspect that we don't see reasonable prices on this again, which is fine. I sold these to my patrons, I believe, about $285 each a couple weeks ago. And they bought most of what I had to offer, and the rest I am happy to keep. Double Masters 2022. Another roller coaster. So if we're looking back on the 3-month, it had gotten up to a market price high of $249. And now we're sadly back down to $231 today. You know, the reality of this is there's just so much of this product in the world. You know, we're trying our best to burn through it, but how many have sold in the last year? 750 in the last year. So yeah, it's just going to take a long time to burn down all of this product. And like I always warn, we can do market depth analysis and we can talk about, we got 151 in the market right now. And let's say in the last month it sold 180. Well, we would be fooling ourselves because that last month included Black Friday. And as the prices rise, more of those boxes come out of the closet. I have entire closets full of boxes that are listed nowhere, for which I have no plans to sell at the moment. And it's literally going to be the price of individual boxes getting up to some level where emotionally it feels okay to sell it, and then I'll sell them. And so a lot of people in this market are the same way, and more and more of these boxes are going to come out. It's been a slow trudge to get to this point. I think there's a lot of this product left in the world, so it's going to take a while. Here we are back to 250 after about the next 11 boxes, is that? So that'll be good. Getting back to 250 and then, back to 260 after about another 15 boxes after that. So 25 boxes, but 2 a day, maybe. Okay. If by the end of the year we see this at 260, I'd be a little surprised. I think it's going to take probably January or February to see that 260 mark again. It's a great product, has great cards in it, but 2022 was still before WotC got some discipline back on collector box print runs. Duskmorn. This is another roller coaster, and we see it topped out here, 246 market price, and now today we're back to 225. So I don't know if Foundations just sucked all the money out of the room, or if the TCG expansion life cycle is more or less doing its thing, bringing the price down, or if a second wave hit distribution. Not really sure why the price fell down about $25 per box. Let's see, 245. We got a decent ways to go. Somewhere around here is 250. Yeah, wow, that's a lot of boxes. It's probably 60 or so boxes to get back to there. So, what did we sell on Black Friday? 65 and 24 and 13. So about 100 boxes on Black Friday. And yet the price has still managed to fall over the last month. So yeah, pretty harsh for the product, but it's a standard expansion and it's 2024 and it's still doing way better than the days of AFR, Crimson Vow, Midnight Hunt, Streets. Kamigawa did better in its own time in that early 2022 era, but a lot of rough expansions, a lot of rough standard expansion collector boxes for a long time. So seeing 225 still just a few months after release, still very good, even if it's down from the 250. Phyrexia. Wow. Yeah, 350. So my recollection was correct. The market price had gotten all the way up to 350 and it's come back down to 303. So a lot of boxes coming out of the closet. And that's about 53 sold over the Black Friday weekend. And interesting. So there's some pretty big jumps here. 312 jumps to 325. And a few boxes later jumps to 344. So how many total boxes in the market? That's only 19 boxes from now. It's back to 345. It'll be interesting to see if it could make that by the end of the year. I'm a little skeptical. It's come down too far. And, we get into this Christmas season where people are spending their money on other things. They aren't playing as much Magic. They aren't watching as many TCG investing videos on YouTube, enticing them to buy Magic. So again, this could take into 2025, but I bet some point in 2025, this becomes a $400 box. Original Lord of the Rings, still about $720. Yeah, it's been kind of stable here. So here was $700 right before Black Friday. And maybe it sold 20, 25 boxes over Black Friday. It's pretty good. $750, decent amount of boxes to go before 800. So yeah, we might see kind of a stall in the ascension of this box's price for a while. And special edition. Now this was all the way up. I sent a buddy of mine a screenshot of this from the Black Friday weekend. It was selling at $18.45. So it's come down a decent bit just then. It amazes me when boxes get out here that people are willing to undercut by $20 and $40 and $80 and $100 and $200 to get the next sale. And it's like, why aren't you undercutting by a penny? You know, humans have this really weird thing where they've done these studies and they've been like, would you go across the highway to a different store to buy the same product to save money? And people will give these really weird answers. And it's like, if there was a candy bar and it was $6 at the store on this side of the highway, but it was $1 at the store on the other side of the highway, would you take the time to drive across the highway to go get that candy bar and save $5? And people will say, oh, yes, I would. I definitely would. And then you take another batch of people and you ask them the same question worded in a different way. And you say, if you were going to buy this car and it was $20,000 on this side of the highway, or you could drive across the highway and it costs $19,995, would you drive across the highway to save that $5? And people almost universally will say, absolutely not. I would not waste my time driving across the highway to save $5. And the reality is it's the same $5, whether it's $5 saved on the candy bar or on the car. But people give a different answer, and the only thing that's different in the question setup is the price of the thing. And so people are doing the same thing here. It's like when these boxes are expensive, when they're $1,845, people are like, oh yeah, I'll just undercut it $100. And it's like, that's the same $100 that like you would scrap for selling singles and that you would go through all this effort for, but you're giving it away when you're undercutting on these expensive boxes. It's the craziest damn thing. So, okay. 1680. How many did we sell? 31. Yes. And 8 more. Yeah. So about 42 boxes over Black Friday. And pretty quickly we're back into 17 and 1750 and 1830. Nice. 1940. And a lot of these are 1 or 2 boxes available at these price points. I can't even imagine what this is going to be at a year from now. There's a small chance this is a $3,000 box this time next year. Okay, so that was collector boxes. And then, yeah, I opened this because TCG players, yeah, only their draft Commander Master boxes came up on the search, not the set or collector. So you have to call those up individually. 206. And these were in the 240s and then just cratered down. I know WotC was dumping these on Amazon pretty hard. So I guess that had an effect. That's pretty dramatic that the price fell 20% over the Black Friday weekend. And how many moved? Yeah, about 100. And then how long to get back up? Yeah, boy, it's a long way to climb back up to those 240s. It's going to take a while. But yeah, that's the result. WotC was dumping these hard on Amazon several times over the last couple months. You know, the character of the WotC Amazon dumps has changed like that over this last year because, you know, we had several years where Rudy told us again and again and again that the Amazon dumps were done. And just that whole time, Amazon just kept dumping below distributor pricing. And, you know, it's more or less stopped. It's pretty rare to see WotC dumping below distributor pricing nowadays. They still do it occasionally. But what they do nowadays is they'll come into the market and they'll price the boxes on Amazon $10, $15, $20 cheaper than the current market price on TCG Player. And so, one, they're the manufacturer and they're cutting out the distributor. They're getting a reduced fee structure from Amazon, and then they're selling straight through by only undercutting the market a little. So it still slashes the throat of the card stores and the distributors, but I guess it gets less attention because it's not below wholesale all the time like it used to be. Set boxes, $3.61, and this is a great example. They dumped these on Amazon. Boy, pretty early in 2024 for $210 or $220, I forget. How many did we move on Black Friday? About 22 boxes. Yeah. And there are a lot of boxes piled up here in front of the 380 mark. So yeah, it's just going to have a long road to pull up those next $20. It's just such an expensive box that, I think that's going to drag on it for a long time, that a lot of people are going to be encouraged to just go for the singles instead of buying a box to have fun with, because it's such an expensive box. And there aren't as many great chase cards. We look at the other side, which is something like the Lord of the Rings Special Edition collector box. And yeah, that thing has $5,000 serialized movie poster cards in it. So yes, of course the box is going to be able to support a $2,000 market price, because you can get a $5,000 lottery ticket out of it. And yeah, okay, so we did Commander Master Collector. Okay, so now we're on to Flesh and Blood, and we're going to take a look at a couple of the early sets and just see how they sold through on Black Friday. Let's see, I think I'm going to need page 2 for what I'm looking for. All of these more recent sets still have plenty of supply in the market. And we're going to take Monarch first, Arcane Unlimited, Welcome to Wraith Unlimited, and Crucible Unlimited. Of course, I covered these in my monthly Flesh and Blood sales data video recently. 16, 13, so about, 40 boxes over the Black Friday weekend for Monarch. And the price has been on a brutal decline from 60 to 50. The other thing is 111 boxes in the market right now. How many has it sold in the last year? 200? Yeah, okay. Maybe by this time next year, we see $100 a box on this. Let's see. Arcane Rising. This one's been doing good for quite a while. Yep. And on Black Friday, so December 1st, the 29th, it sold 7 boxes over the Black Friday weekend. That's pretty underwhelming. And the market depth is really bad on this one. You can see you get out 3 boxes here, and you've jumped from 106 to 150. You get out another box, and you've climbed another $30. Yeah. I mean, if you just walked into the market right now and you bought the first 4 boxes, the price would jump from 105 to 180. Wow. Welcome to Wraith Unlimited, $82. Yeah, market price of $79. And over Black Friday, 11 boxes. And what kind of market depth are we looking at here? 80, 85, 90. Yeah, still pretty deep. It's going to take a while. It sold in the last year, 277 compared to 98 in the market now. So again, this is just going to be a game of seeing how many boxes and closets are going to get coaxed out in 2025. Crucible of War Unlimited, $90. And sold 11 on Black Friday, 28 in the market. In the last year, it sold 167. So here we are to 100 and, well, let's go one more box. 150 bucks. How many boxes to there? 8, 12, 17 boxes. So 17 boxes to get to 150. Not bad. Anything else we want to look at here? All these Fab 2.0 boxes still have good supply. None of them look tight when I go in and look at the numbers on them. I really don't think History Pack Volume 1 is going to be a great mover. Okay, so let's move on. This is Scarlet and Violet era Pokemon. Of course, Surging Sparks 208. Still expect some pretty dramatic reprints on that. Paldea Evolved moved up to 140. Very nice. Scarlet and Violet Base, 120. Man, you remember when this came out and everybody was saying the trainer gallery was no good and no one's going to like the gray border. It's too big of a change and everything else. And here we are, 120. And we're, what, 3 years later? Yeah. 2 years later. Let's see. Stellar Crown, 120. That's SV07. Twilight Masquerade, 154. SV06. Temporal Forces, SV05, 136. Yeah, it's doing what Pokemon always does. You buy the boxes and they go up in price. Obsidian Flames, SV03, 124. Nothing surprising here. This is how it was meant to be, you might say. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Sword and Shield. Now, of course, I made a video just about this yesterday or the day before about how the Sword and Shield box prices had popped so much. $932 on Evolving Skies. Fusion Strike, $290. Brilliant Stars holding over $200. That was the reason I made the video, is because it had cracked over $200 on the market price. Vivid Voltage, $147. And we had some new news this morning on this I'll get to in just a second. Chilling Reign, $234. So see, man, do you remember 2021, 2022, and parts of 23 when people were so negative on Sword and Shield? And here we are. 200s. We have 7 of the 12 Sword and Shield era booster boxes over $200. We have, 2 of them over $300, with Fusion Strike about to break over $300. And yet people were negative. People chose to miss out because they were so negative. Okay, so the new news is that Silver Tempest has disappeared off of Pokemon Center since yesterday. I came in here this morning, I refreshed. Vivid Voltage was still here from the Sword and Shield era and Battle Styles, and Silver Tempest was gone. I did some extra refreshes, I did some specific searches just to make sure I'm not missing it somehow, but it is gone. So the very, very soft and squishy MSRP $144 ceiling is now removed off of Silver Tempest. We should probably expect to see it move up, $10 to $20 over the next couple of months. So that was the new news. Now, we're going to jump over to eBay and look at 2 of the biggest dealers over there. Of course, P Football Pete. See what he's got. Still, Jumpstart. Original 2020 Jumpstart for $79. I don't know. I opened probably 60 or 80, maybe 100 of these boxes last year in 2023. And man, they're still available for $79, but just too many of the good cards got reprinted. Of course, Exquisite Blood and, the blue guy that doubles the milling, the Grandiloquent. I can't remember his name. And Ristic Study and Craterhoof Behemoth. And just too many of the good money cards in original Jumpstart got reprinted. So they're still not worth opening. I've actually considered messaging this guy and just asking if I could buy an entire pallet of this from him for like $60 a box, if he would just be willing to get rid of it for that, where it would be a reasonable price for me to open. Foundations, play boxes, 140. Modern Horizons 3, see, 210. Man, that's undercutting all the stores in the market. We have Scarlet and Violet base for $222. That's a good price compared to TCG Player. It's going to save you, $7-8 a box? Something like that, if you can swing buying a whole case at once. Obsidian Flames, so that comes to, $125 a box? That's about what it was on TCG Player. Oh, I didn't mention Assassin's Creed when we were over on TCG Player. The collector boxes have a market price of about $218 today. So, pretty wild ride on that one. It had spiked up to $380 right after it came out because everybody thought it was going to be a repeat of Fallout collector boxes. And then it plummeted to $280, where I said, oh yeah, it fell $100. It's safe to buy. So I bought a couple at $280, and now it's $218 today. So $164 for Lord of the Rings set boxes. I wonder when they're going to be done printing that. It's been 15 months now. I wonder how long WotC is going to support that as a print-to-demand product. Surging Sparks, 220 over here. Of course, it was about 210 over on TCG Player. Paldea Evolved Cases. Whoa. What's that come out to? Oh boy, trying to do math on the fly. 50, well, 150 each? More than that. Jeez. Ixalan set boxes, 114. Man, not bad. That's about $7 cheaper than TCG Player. Paldea Evolved ETBs. This is actually a good price. You know, Paldea Evolved has a chance of being the evolving skies of Scarlet and Violet. Now that we've got Surging Sparks, it looks less likely because Surging Sparks has gone nuts a lot faster than Paldea Evolved did. But Paldea Evolved still has a lot of great singles that people are chasing in it. So, you know, $38 for an ETB is not a bad price. Bloomborough Collectors, $250. So that's what, $8 below TCG Player. You can get some good deals from these sellers on eBay on cases of these V boxes and EX boxes and things like that. Sometimes you can get some really great deals to break them down for boosters. The same thing with the 144 booster sleeved cases. You can sometimes get some really great prices through those. And here we go. Assassin's Creed Collector, $217. Haven't seen a ton of deals on Commander decks recently. I saw a couple on Black Friday, but, you know, I looked at what the profit margins were, and a couple of the deals that I did see, they were for standard expansion, so I just have a lot less faith in those to hold their prices while I'm selling through the cards. I ended up not buying any of them. Paldea Adventure Chest. This is a great one as a Christmas gift, and that price is really good, $29 delivered. Some ETB cases of Temporal Forces. Oh man, is that Battle Styles? No, Scarlet and Violet base. Sorry, thought that was Battle Styles for a second. So the Duskmorn TV box, $80. You know, this one was kind of an interesting bet in the same manner that the complete bundles were a year and a half ago. Turned out this one really didn't do much, though. Scarlet and Violet base case. So what's that, 109 each? Same thing with these Modern Horizons 3 gift bundles. You know, the gift bundles have a collector booster pack in them, and sometimes a better selection of the promo cards and other individual cards and land bundles and things like that that are in there. Occasionally, those gift bundles, if you can get them at a good enough price, they're worth breaking down. More random Pokemon products. A Kamigawa single booster for $30. Not a very good price. Phyrexia set boosters, $135. Wow. They were a decent bit cheaper over on TCG Player. Ravnica Clue Edition, that fell off the map pretty fast. Double Masters 2022 single booster, again, not a great price. $228 actually cheaper on TCG Player right now. And some more obscure and other EX boxes, some One Piece, and some other stuff. Okay, let's move over to the other one, Flipside Gaming. This is the other really huge dealer on eBay. Okay, $160. Maybe $160 was that wholesale price I was trying to remember. I couldn't remember if it's $160 or $170. I think it's maybe it's $150. Golly, I'm just going to stop. Paradox Rift, $121. You know, it's a toss-up between Flipside Gaming and P-Football Pete on who is going to have the better price on one thing or the other. One thing that Flipside does that's interesting is they will often have better discounts like these save more when you buy more, when you get 5% off if you buy 4 or more, and they will have better case prices and discounts for buying case quantities. So it's always worth looking into that on Flipside. Still $215 for Brothers War Collectors. Jumpstart 2022, $95. Yeah, there was a time in 2023 when I opened a bunch of cases. I can't recall exactly, maybe 50 or 60 boxes of this to sell singles. But the prices were a lot lower at the time. Dominaria Remastered Draft for $120. It's probably the best price I've seen today, if you're still lacking those. And $96 for a Baldur's Legends Draft and save 5% when you buy more. Not bad. Some other old draft boxes. DU set. That seems okay. $270 for Commander Masters Draft. All these Foundations Jumpstart cases for $590. Theros Beyond Death. Oof. $113. That is too old of a product to still be sold by a dealer like this. It shows just how much they must have sitting around in their warehouses. Innistrad Play Case, $930. Modern Horizons 2 set, $210. Sad to not see that move up yet, but you know, the individual enemy fetch land cards from Modern Horizons 2, they've moved up, but the boxes themselves just haven't started moving much yet. I wonder if there's going to come a time when there's inverted EV in those again. Zendikar Rising, still under $100. Doctor Who Commander deck sets for $180. All right, we're going to about call that it, because now we're getting into the other games, Secret Lairs, Japanese Pokemon. You know, it's nice that more Japanese Pokemon is coming into the US now and is being sold by reputable dealers. It'll cut down a lot on the number of scams and on the risk of buying it from just anybody. So that's good to see. And TCG Player supports Japanese language Pokemon now. That's actually really good to see. That's going to really open the market up here. So, you know, the market's doing really great overall. Things are going pretty wonderful, and Black Friday has really pulled up the prices on a lot of stuff. I think we're going to see a lot of sideways movement through December. And then once we get into January and February, it's going to be the same as it was last year, where prices were just moving up nicely for month after month after month after month. You know, you saw decent movement on a lot of those collector boxes, and on some of them very shallow market depth before you gap up to much higher prices. So hopefully you guys have been coming along with me for the last 4 years, buying collector boxes repeatedly and regularly, and now you're going to get paid for it. So let me know what you think, guys. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.